Hey guys, Journeys with Adam here back in our video. Today we are doing a history video on Six Flags Great Adventure. Today it is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. So let's get started. The Birch and William era from 1958 to 1981. In 1958, the park opened along Route 66, now I-35. It featured a haunted farm, a mine chain robberies, a jails. Intentionally, guests entered for free, but had to pay a quarter to watch the gunfighter shows. It started out as Boontown, a replica of an Oklahoma pioneer town that was built for the state's celebration in 1957 at the Oklahoma State Fair grounds. Jimmy Perch, the leader of the community that built Boontown, decided to open an amusement park with the same theme. Rather than a traditional ribbon cutting, it was scheduled to have an old-fashioned six-shooter aimed at a piece of rope stretched across the stockable entrance. That was the same manner used today for its opening. It added spinning rides, roller coasters, and a log flume ride starting in the 1960s and 70s. The park was originally owned and operated by Oklahoma City businessman James Perch and Jack Williams. James Perch has been a publicist in Hollywood for 20 years, with clients that include Gwen Crawford and Robert Tyler. He visited Disneyland when it opened in 1955 and was impressed with the theme park business. Being from Oklahoma City, he knew his hometown would be a natural location for a Western theme amusement park. After World War II, he returned to Oklahoma City and was later appointed to lead the Oklahoma City Semi-Contentious Community, which was planning the 1957 Oklahoma Central explosion in Oklahoma City. After the 1957 explosion was over, he neglected with the Fair Board of purchase many of the buildings and props at the Boomtown exhibit. Barglev laid out the land and facilities with four intentional investors that entered a partnership with Jack Williams, and a wealthy businessman who owned a chain of laundries. Although Williams was essentially interested in the park's leaning rental contract, he was convinced by Birch's vision and became the principal investor. Together, they developed the park as a recreation of an 1880s Western town. Russell Pearson was credited as an architect responsible for building designs and general layouts. The four square blocks of streets contain a marshal's office, a saloon, bank, post office with its own postmark, fire department, hotel, and numerous storefronts. Attractions at the park included a train ride built by Aerodynamics, authentic stagecoach ride, a donkey ride, and an indoor dark ride designed by Pearson, who later went on to work on Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri, and Ghost Town in the Sky in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. The park reported attendance of over 1 million people each year. Although because parking and admission were free, attendance was determined by Perch from the number of train tickets sold, which could have counted the same people multiple times each day. It was famous for its live entertainment, including stage gunfights, Indian dancing, saloon shows, train robberies, and other similar types of Western experiences. The park had made money by leasing concessions, and the concessionaires set their own prices. Perch recounted in 1988 that visitors could walk around free unless they got thirsty. Williams set up the offices for his company and Frontier City staff in two suppliers' cabooses purchased from the Frisco Railroad, and entertained in the Susan Bell, the former Frisco president's car, which had been declared surplus in 1958. Birch left Frontier City in 1961 and Williams followed in 1975. New management from 1981 to 1986. In the fall of 1981, the Tiergo Group, a local real estate company, bought the park with plans to dismantle it and develop for land. However, the oil church slowed down the local real estate boom that startled the company found itself with a stagnant amusement park to operate. The president of the company realized Oklahoma City needed a local amusement park, but also knew that throwing a few $1 million at the park was not going to be enough to solve its problems. In 1983, the owners hired a management company to operate it. Gary Story was named the general manager in 1984. The Tier Group / Superior Park / Six Flags era from 1987 to 2006. In 1987, the contract with the management company was not renewed, but the management staff went to work directly for the park's owners, Frontier City Properties, a wholly-owned subsidiary of Terry Group Inc. In 1995, the Terry Group Inc. changed its name to Premier Parks on February 9, 1998. It was announced that Premier Parks would purchase the Six Flags chain from Time Warner for $1.9 billion and change its name to Six Flags Incorporated. The world headquarters for Six Flags were located at the southeast corner of the park's property until 2006, when the company's office were moved to New York City and Grand Prairie, Texas. On January 27, 2006, Six Flags put Frontier City and Whitewater Bay, Six Flags Magic Mountain, English Gardens, Darien Lakes, and a couple water parks. Hurricane Harbor Splash was included in that, actually, in 2006. And while it's in Enchanted Village for sale. At the time, it was also announced its plan to close its corporate office in Oklahoma and move it to New York City and Grand Prairie, Texas. Marks, as Six Flags CEO at the time, said that he is expected the parks to continue operating after the sale, but rumors surfaced that some of them could close. The announcement also created a lot of confusion in the Oklahoma City market. Many people misunderstood the announcement, instead thinking that Frontier City was shutting down and relocated to New York. CNN Properties and PARS Management era 2007 to 2010. On January 11th, 2007, Six Flags opted to keep Magic Mountain, but then announced that it would sell Frontier City and Whitewater Bay, along with English Gardens, Darien Lake, Splashtown near Houston, and Wild Waves Enchanted Villages to PARC 7F operations. As a part of the deal, the Six Flags prefix was removed from English Gardens, Darien Lake. Frontier City and Whitewater Bay were never branded as Six Flags Parks. PARC sold them to CNL Income Properties Inc., and the two companies set up a long-term agreement in CNL would lease the parks to PRC, which would operate them. In 2008, a new suspended roller coaster, Steel Lasso, was added to celebrate the park's 50th anniversary. On November 24th, 2010, Sienna Lifestyle Properties Inc. announced that it had reached an agreement to terminate PARC's lease of the park and up to 17 other locations due to parks defaulting in its contractual lease and loan obligation. The move came after, according to their 2010 CEC filings, Park defaulted on their lease obligations on the properties. 5 of the original six parks originally purchased from Six Flags are also involved in the lease termination. Premier Parks era 2011 to 2016. In 2011, it was announced that as the result of an agreement with owners CNN Lifestyle Properties, former Six Flags, Karen Park, and Gary Story would begin managing the properties as Premier Parks. In 2012, a new multi-million-dollar water play structure was created in the former parking lot, and the area is called Wild West Water Works and features 7 slides, 1,000-gallon shipping water buckets, and hundreds of water gadgets. In 2014, the park turned to Plainview, Texas-based Larson International for the new Wing Warrior ride, and again in 2015 for the new Brain Drain, a 7-story looping thrill ride. Another attraction was added in 2016 called the Gunslinger, a 60-foot-tall spinning thrill ride made by Italian ride manufacturer Samperla. It was relocated from Magic Springs in Hot Springs, Arkansas, a park also owned by CNL Lifestyle Properties Inc. 2016 also celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Wildcats. Much of the ride was retracted in 2016 to make for a smoother ride. EPR Properties / Premier Park eras, 2016 to 2018. After the 2016 season, the park was again sold, this time to EPR Properties, which was operated under the name Frontier City Holdings LLC. Premier Parks continue as a management company, with Stephen Ball continuing to act as its general manager. For the 2017 season, the Wildcat received a complete train makeover with rebuilt cars, a new $1 million water ride was added to the Wild West Waterworks called the Gully Washer, which consists of 3 high thrill water slides that will start from a tower approximately 66 feet tall. One of the new shows for the 2017 season performed in the Opera House is called Snake Rattler and Roll, which replaces the show instrumental movement and revisits the music of the 1950s and 60s. EPR property / Six Flags era, 2018 to currently now as of 2025. On May 22nd, 2018, Six Flags Entertainment Corporation announced that they have entered into a purchase agreement with Premier Parks to acquire the lease rights to operate the park, which would remain under EPR Properties ownerships. Before the start of the 2020 season, Six Flags suspend all operations across all their properties due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, after over 2 months of the park operations being closed, Frontier City became the first park in the company to reopen on June 5th with new health and safety protocols. As of June 2020, Frontier City's operations has resumed. Also to note, in January 2024, Six Flags and Cedar Fair did merge, and as of starting January 1st, 2026, if you have a Six Flags Legacy membership to Frontier City, it will work out Worlds of Fun and all Cedar Fair parks next year. Do want to let you guys know about that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new and turn on notification bell so you guys never miss a video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Express train keeps on rolling through the future, right by two of my favorite spots.